of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First on the agenda is the introductions. We've got Sapphire Rose to my left, this is the general manager. I'm Eric Dar, the general manager. We've got Lynn Carpenter, the president. Gary Monahan, board member. Claudia Diaz, CFO. And Fred White, board secretary. And we have the announcement that Jeannie Czar has resigned on the board, or her position on the board, effective April 9th. Next up are announcements. First up is a bridge update. We had originally anticipated having the bridge open at the end of April. However, we've been informed by the builder that that will be in mid-May at this point in time because of some construction delays. So keep up on the daily report. We'll definitely keep you updated as well. Next are carpeting. So the hallways are done. The billiards room is done, and the billiards tables will be put back tomorrow. The game room is done, the library is done, and the theater is done. The ballroom is still on schedule to be done in the last week of April and the first week of May. And then we'll have a much larger ballroom dance floor and new carpet there as well. And as far as the election update, districts 1, 2, 14, 15, and 17 have not met quorum yet, but they're all in the mid-40s, so we encourage you to turn in your ballots and also make sure that they are signed. And then a flagpole.
I'm going to take a few minutes and give you a background briefing of where we are on the subject of the flagpole. This first came to the board's attention about 2.5 months ago when a homeowner wanted to put a flagpole in their front yard, flying the American flag. They applied to the Architectural Review Committee that said they could not do that, so they appealed to the board. The board confirmed that the Architectural Review Committee had done the right thing and it's a good amount of time to do it. The homeowner went back, did some research, came back to the board and said the city of Beaumont allows it to be done. Therefore, if you don't let us do that, we will file a lawsuit. We sent that information to our lawyer, paid several $100s for the legal opinion that came back and said, if this goes to court, you will first incur negative publicity as a community as opposed to patriotism, whether it's true or not. That's what the headline will be. Secondly, you will very, very likely lose the case. Most of the associations that he was aware of that had tried to fight flagpole and flag flying of the American flag were lost. So we went back and did some more research. And it's important to recognize that most of us think that the CC&Rs guide all of our rules and laws. As a matter of fact, the CC&Rs are a covenant between the investors, the developers, and the homeowners. The city of Beaumont is not a party to the CC&Rs nor a signatory to it. They really don't care about our CC&Rs or the CC&Rs of any other development in the city of Beaumont. What they do with the developer is they produce something called a specific plan. This is ours. The cities have a general plan on how things will be developed within their city and how they write their zoning laws and ordinances. And what they do on specific plans is they get with the builder and they say, okay, you need a deviation from the general plan because you want to have maybe more density housing than is allowed. You need to have a certain amount of open space. In here that talks about the conservancy, that we will have to have that. And it says that you will have a design review board once you turn it over to the association. It also very specifically states in 3 places in here that anything that's not covered in here falls under the municipal codes of the city. There is no mention of flagpoles in here. Therefore, the municipal code of the city applies to flagpoles. At that time, there was no municipal code. Last July, the city passed an ordinance on flagpoles. That is what we alerted the association members to. We sent out a notice for comment. We did not include our current regulation and CCNRs and our guidance because that was no longer relevant. What the ordinance did, in fact, was say you can't have your own ordinance. All you can do is follow ours. So what we are in the process of doing right now is collecting your comments. We will have the ARC look them over and kind of prioritize them. And once we have that, then Eric and I will go down and talk to the city attorney about our concerns and our issues and what can we do and not do in order to still stay within the city's rules without causing a lawsuit. Because if a lawsuit occurs, we could very likely find ourselves with a lawsuit against the city as opposed to against an individual. So that's where it stands right now, and that's our plan for the future. We will keep everyone informed as it goes along, and we won't initiate any rule changing now because we don't know what we have authority to do.
Thank you. Next up is homeowner input. As a reminder, it's limited to 3 minutes per homeowner, and only one request to speak form may be submitted per homeowner. There will be no sharing or passing time to another person. Homeowner input may be held for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Before the board meeting begins, to allow the board to proceed with the business portion of the meeting. This portion of the meeting is limited to board participation only. Residents are welcome and encouraged to stay for the full meeting to witness the business of the corporation conducted by Guardian Davis. And first is Randy Ball.
I just want to bring to light that a change took place with the hours over at the summit, going to be reverting back to a 6 a.m. opening. And so we had some interest from the people that utilize the facility up there, and 63 people expressed an interest in keeping the 6 a.m. Opening up there on Monday through Friday. So we'd respectfully like the board to look at the issue and see if there's any way we can maintain that 6 a.m. opening time. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Next is Vivian Walker.
Good afternoon. I'm representing the Dog Group, also in conjunction with the Tails and Trail Group. And we are looking forward to presenting our annual animal pet blessing this year in October. We're targeting October 6th in the afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. And this has been a really great event here at Four Seasons. And for those of you who have not attended, you can bring a snake, a bird, a dog, a cat, a rabbit, any kind of pet that you have. And we will have Reverend Jean Lauren there again. And she will do, this is a non-denominational event. And each year it's grown in size, and it's been really a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. And believe it or not, all the animals have really gotten along. So we have a lot of volunteers, and we provide water for the animals. And it's just a great event for Four Seasons and all of our great pets here. So we are respectfully asking the board. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and approve this event for this year again. 4 to 6 p.m. to look at this and ap And on a different note, I just wanted to add, I wanted to personally thank the board for all the great work that you're doing. I know you don't always hear from the residents about, all the hard times and effort that you're putting in. But I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you guys do, and you do a great job.
Vivian. Next is Donna Lewis.
Thank you for letting me speak, and once again, I appreciate everything that the Board of Directors does. And I want to bring up, this is me as a resident, okay, because I am on some committees and some groups here, and I want to make sure that I express that when I'm bringing up is what I've seen as a resident that is concerning to me. And that is golf carts being driven by minors here in our community. I saw, I would say, a 10 to 12-year-old boy driving a golf cart right about the bridge area right here, getting ready to enter our main circle, coming out Potrero. I was very concerned about that, and I reached out to management, found out it is against our community guidelines to do that. And on page, I can't read the page number, but anyway, number 13 is no person 16 years of age under 16 years of age may operate a motorized device, golf cart, scooter, motorbike, on the community streets, sidewalks, or common areas. Operation between 16 and 18 years of age must possess a valid driver's license. I couldn't take a picture as I was driving, so I couldn't get it, but I think it's happening here with more than one resident. I've never seen it before. I've been here almost 3 years. But it's a main concern for me. It's a liability to our community. I know I sure wouldn't want to be involved in some sort of an incident with a golf cart at all, much less one that, a minor is driving, because they're not as safe as a vehicle, so there's a lot of injury and a lot of damage that are done with those. So I wanted to bring up my concern with the guidelines. There are also city guidelines as to golf carts out there, and the safety of our residents as well as our children. I know I would not let any of my grandchildren operate any of those here. We have enough concern with just the speed of traffic and other things here in our community that, it's kind of concerning for me to see this happening. Thank you.
Next is Lon Reed.
I'd like to start off by saying that my wife and I moved here this month a year ago, and very, very happy in this beautiful community. We purchased a lovely home here in the original section. And again, I want to state to the board that we're very appreciative for what you do. Also the people that work in the management office, Sapphire, who I speak to on a regular basis, even if we're just passing, we say hi. But it's a pleasure to live here, it truly is. We had a slight problem. I live at 1693 Clark Creek, and our backyard borders Highland Springs. And I'm not upset about it. I just want to let the board know what happened. But we have a shed in our backyard that was put in when the house was built. And my wife's bicycle was stolen out of the shed. We didn't catch it for probably a couple of weeks between being sick and doing other things. But we did have the police come out. Belmont police were very professional, very nice. They did take a report. But I just wanted to let you know that it was going on. I realized that there was no perfect situation. Again, I'm not concerned, but I just wanted to alert you that what happened. I don't think that there's any need for me to discuss the homeless issue, which we all know is a problem, and I know that the board is working on it and the police. And it would be nice, I think, at a certain time when I guess the builder finishes, that's when things will be looked at as far as changing how the security works for the gates and stuff. Is that correct? Okay, so
Bill Barletta.
This is a request to keep the lodge open on Fridays and Saturdays for an additional 2 hours. I believe you have a petition, or at least a petition should have been given to you with about 60 or 70 names on it. This was just taken over a 2-day period, one when the medalist was on, and another one on a karaoke night. And basically on those evenings, a lot of people were very upset with the fact that they either had to eat dinner at 4 o'clock so that they could attend these functions, or eat it at 10 o'clock when the functions were over. We're an active adult community. A lot of the folks, well, myself and I'm sure many others too, wrapping things up at 9 o'clock is very early. The additional 2 hours that we're talking about, again, just Friday and Saturday, I think a lot of folks will be very happy with. We can start these functions a little bit later, and the cost, just top of the head run on it, would not be very much. If you had one person on there to man the doors or to man the desk while it was going on, might be like $4,000 a year. If you had 2 people, it would be about $8,000 a year. So again, we're not talking a lot of money. We have a lot of new people coming in with the houses being built. And I think it behooves all of us we're not 95, so if you think that having the lodge open and a little extra time, I think that most people will be very happy with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Jackie Stetson.
Good afternoon, Jackie Sneddons, Turtle Creek. I will talk a little bit about the proposed rule change. I'm so glad that you're going to take a back stand on it and work on it, because I think one of the things we have to remember is that we move into gated communities for certain reasons, and some of those reasons are because there are rules and restrictions that are not necessarily addressed by a city code. And something we need to be very careful of here is we have to take into consideration our close proximity to our neighbors, and what the impact of a taller pole, a larger flag, or more flags would be to our neighbors. Flapping flags in the wind is very disruptive. Also, what needs to be considered is if they need to be allowed in the front yard, we need to say, where are they going to be located? What kind of setback should be set? Should there be a certain standard for the stand? Make sure the flagpole doesn't sail in the wind. Are they going to be allowed in the front yard comm center? There's all those answers, those questions that need to be answered before a rule should be approached and adopted here. I do want to make note, though, that I do not think that they would give proper notice under the civil code because you did not show what the changes or deletions would be in our current rules. Also, it was not explained what the exact impact or the effect of this rule was going to be, which was to put flagpoles in front yards. So I think when you get back to it, renotice it appropriately so people can make an educated decision about whether they agree or not. My second subject I'd like to talk about, excuse me, is a stop sign. I've been trying to get some information and answers to some questions. What substantiated the stop sign in the corridor of Four Seasons Circle and Slippery Creek? I heard it was due that the Slippery Creek residents thought they had a blind corner. I wanted to know what research was done. Were any other corners investigated? And Len, you of course should know very well that there's a blind corner in this community. It's to Harris and Four Seasons, which handles the traffic of 70 plus homes versus the traffic of 17. I think the stop sign is an inconvenience, an irritation to hundreds of our residents that are going up and down to the lodge or to the main gate, and I really feel that stop sign needs to be removed. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Next is Paul Ritter.
Well, in light of your comments, Len, and your explanation earlier on, I'm going to cut my comments really short. Have to do with the flagpole restriction and the proposed change of rules. I guess the basic 2 points that I have is that is a very large flag, 3 of them on a pole being proposed. Normally, the flag protocol says that should be on a minimum of 32-foot pole. 3 of those flags are on a 20-foot pole, draped on the ground. I mean, it's ridiculous. When that standpoint. Also, the removal of any restrictions on what type of flag. Absolutely understand that the laws of the country rightfully say anyone should be allowed to fly an official American U.S. flag. There's no restrictions like that at all in this. I brought my comments in writing as well. Thank you.
Thank you all, and that was the last speaker subject. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar. The purpose of the consent calendar is to make a single motion to approve all included items. If for a particular reason an item needs to be discussed or pulled from the consent calendar, any call to approve that item should be made by the board. On this month's consent calendar are the minutes from March 8th, the approval of the February 2018 financial statements, review and implementation of the investment plan, approval of liens on account BD 6310-0274-01 and BD 6310-0662-01. There were no club or group application requests, and there were 4 facility use requests.
I make a motion to accept the consent calendar as presented.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Thank you. Next is the report on the executive session, which we held earlier this morning at 9 a.m. We had 15 delinquencies, of which 7 paid in full. There were 5 violation hearings. For contracts, the board approved interstate sweeping in the amount of $9,780 for the year. They approved artistic maintenance at $144,000 for the year for the common area and $67,200 for the year for the front area cost center. They also approved the Park West contract in the amount of $240,480 for the year for the common area landscape maintenance. The board did review legal issues and personnel matters. And so next week, committee reports. First is Peter.
I am Steve Cooley from the Architectural Review Committee. Really excited about what we do down into some simple little numbers, but for the most part, that's the only thing that's important to you. It's not your item we're looking at. So we'll just look here. We had 13 guests. We'd love to have a whole lot more of you. We anticipate a couple openings. If you're at all interested, come see what we do, see what kind of fun we can have, see what kind of expenses you can run up to your house and you see what everybody else is doing in school. Then you just can't live with that. We had 8 new applications were submitted, 8 new were approved. In our minds, we help 8 people find something wonderful they love about their house. We had 25 addendums submitted, 25 were approved. These are items that they wanted to change or incorporate after the house was done. Again, 25 more people made their own cooler. The Exhibit A Express are the really simple, straightforward things that are typically satellite antennas. It's a matter of really letting us know. And the Exhibit C's are the completed ones in March, and so 34 were submitted. That just means all the work was done. We went out, we checked, we made sure it was done, and they're off and running in their new fun little part of their house. Again, we're looking for a couple of new members. It's fascinating to understand what our rules and guidelines are, but it's a whole lot more fascinating to see how people are putting what they love, what they want, and fitting it into our guidelines so it works. What we do is to try and help them make whatever they want to do work and fit within those guidelines. First and third Wednesday every month, 8:30 in the morning. Fun city.
Thanks, Steve. Next is the reader.
Okay, we had our meeting last month, and we have been talking about navigating
navigating our website. Our main job right now as a communications committee is developing and updating our website and making it more user-friendly. So we've been creating a series of articles for the Breeze magazine that will help our residents who aren't as comfortable on computers and working on websites to navigate our website. So we are going to begin soliciting questions from the residents as they read these. If they want us to address specific things in the Breeze articles on how to navigate a website, we will address those. The box of gratitude that you've noticed out in the lodge on the counter there, we have looked at that, and we developed a subcommittee because one of our goals also as a communications committee is to also contribute to the positive attitudes we have here at Four Seasons and keeping everything positive, not only for the residents, but also for the people who work here. And so one of the things that we came up with in coordination with our editorial board and our Four Seasons residential reps is a staff recognition, as well as our box of gratitude, things of people putting in those little cards that say, I'm thankful for and have gratitude for. We've been publishing those in the Breeze magazine. So we're also going to have a separate card to staff. So if people notice there's something special that someone on the staff has done, or they want to recognize someone on the staff, they can put a card also in the box of gratitude. And those cards will be given directly to the people who it's addressed to. And so we're hoping that will also help keep a positive attitude going here. Homeowner suggestions. When we get a homeowner suggestion that comes to our committee, which doesn't happen a lot, but when we do get one, which we had recently, what we talked about doing was we will take that suggestion and we'll talk to the person who put it in and invite them to the committee and let them explain what they would like us to do, especially when it deals with the website, and see how much they would like to also assist with that and help and become part of the committee. So that will be happening at our next meeting. We've invited a homeowner there, and of course, people are always welcome to come to the committee meetings, and if you have suggestions for the website, it's very welcome. The website transparency piece that we're talking about here is we're looking at the website, and it's all pretty much, the majority of the website is password protected. Our residents have to have their password in there in order to see the website. We're looking at opening up more and more of the website to the public that is not any kind of invasion of any privacy from any of our residents or that sort of thing, so that we can have more promotional type things that the public can look at when they come and view our website. Also, we're talking about putting an article in the Breeze regarding the resident directory. There's been some confusion we found with some people on how to put their information on the resident directory in the website, as well as understanding that there's also a paper resident directory. And so Larry Workman is going to be writing that article to put in the Breeze to help explain how that works. And then lastly here, we're going to be recognizing in our next meeting, which is April 18th at 10 o'clock, Martha Baumgarten, to thank her for her hard work. She was our chairperson of the committee, and so we're going to just talk about all the nice things that she did for all of our community and our committee at the next meeting, and have some cake.
I would like to have a few comments. One of the goals, probably the main goal of this board, Claudine, myself, and Jerry, and even Fred, when we started, was to improve communication. Our committee, the association has grown almost double in the last couple of years. And reaching out, keeping everybody informed, and having them inform us has been very critical to what we do. We could not have done all that we have accomplished without Martha. She has been such a tremendous asset to us and to this community. She will always be known as the godmother of the survey monkey. Martha, we really appreciate what you've done for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the Community Planning and Transition Committee.
Colin Taylor, Chair of the Community Planning and Transition Committee. We are still waiting for the Council Company approval for the dog off-leash area. I was hoping Eric would be able to say that we received it, but I guess not.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, well, next month. We're continuing to evaluate several options for storage buildings, and the plans for possible amphitheatre expansion are complete. We will be presenting that to a new ad hoc committee. Did the board approve the members of the ad hoc committee this morning?
That will be just now. We'll do that now.
Okay, all right. So once that's approved, we should go ahead with that. We completed a study on future improvements to parking, and that study has been passed on to the facilities committee. We're meeting with various solar power companies to investigate the cost-benefit ratio of both solar electric for all three of the buildings and solar thermal for possible pool heating here and at the courts, because we already have it at the summit, yes. We're starting to work on a long-term overall written development plan for the community. This is the really long-term big picture of where we want the community to be really long-term, so that every little step that we take is consistent with the big picture. You know, if you don't have a big picture, we can do things and then find that we may have to undo something because it's not consistent with something else that we do a little bit later on. We're looking for one or two additional members with planning background, and we may lose our co-chair, Ed, if he's elected to the board, so that one or two additional committee members may actually be 2 or 3. But if you're interested in this committee, unlike the Architecture Review Committee, which gets things done very quickly, we're really a long-term review. Don't expect to have a project and get it finished in a few months. We can get plans finished, but then we have to wait for financing to be available, maybe years ahead. But the objective is to ensure that we have a consistent, long-term process to an even better community than we have today. Our next meeting is Thursday, April 26th at 9 a.m. Anyone's welcome.
And the ad hoc amphitheater committee would need board approval for the following: Bruce Lewis, Barry Kennedy, Lynette Simonson, Larry Goodrow, Mark Lassen, Sharon Bond, Anita Worthen, and from staff, Cindy Graves.
I'll make a motion to approve the names just mentioned for the ad hoc committee. I second it.
Moved and seconded, we approve members for the ad hoc committee, reporting to the Community Planning and Transition Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Mike.
I'm Mike Mendoza. I'm chairperson of the Emergency Preparedness Committee. As you can see, we've been working fairly hard this week. Earlier this week, I chaired the table out here at the committee chair improvement rep, and tonight Fred's going to help us out. And he's going to, because I have another meeting to go to, he's going to help us out and sit with residents that want to come in and let them know what we do. Another help us out is we have the gas company has one concise brochure that made it really nice. The Edison company, we had to kind of pick and choose because everything's kind of pulled apart instead of being in one place. But we finally managed to put a few things, a couple of pages together, and that would help the residents. And we also have the new residents, Angela, Fred, and Denise, and some of the others worked very hard on. And also, big thing is that in May, instead of a meeting, in May, we're going to have a presentation by Dennis Day at 1 p.m. in the afternoon that's open to everyone. We're going to advertise it. Cindy's Cruz going to help me out and try to market it. And other than that, we can always use some new members. And anyone interested in helping out in an emergency, please come forward. And our next meeting is next Tuesday at 10 a.m. at the RCN conference room. Thank you very much.
Next is Facilities Committee, Richard.
Good afternoon, Richard Madera, Facilities Committee. Eric already spoke to the large carpet tile installation. We monitor that also on a regular basis to make sure we're staying on schedule. Thank you. The window tinting at the courts, that project was completed on March 23rd. I'm sure all of you that go there and work out the exercise room or the ping pong room appreciate that was done. I know it looks a lot cooler in there already. The large spa building fitness room, management is preparing a board of flooring samples for a survey. I think that's going to be in process here real soon. So, also the large pool water heater, 2 water heaters in the large pool were replaced on March 27th. And I wanted to point out, and like Collins making more work for us coming soon, that the water heaters have to meet Cal EPA standards, and they have to be low NOx or nitrogen oxide emissions water heaters. Of course, what that means is they have to be manufactured to precise standards, and that makes them more costly. And as compared to putting water heaters in pools in Oklahoma, it's probably about twice the cost. So any energy savings that can be sought after would be greatly appreciated. Wrought iron fencing in Phase C is scheduled to start April 19th. I understand that people in Phase C already have notices on their garages that they're going to start next week. So, our next meeting is 8:30 a.m. and I believe it's in Activity Room 3, it may be 2, but we'll be there somewhere. Just look for us. And as always, we welcome any residents to attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Good afternoon, Barry Genetti with the Finance Committee. Numbers are the numbers up here, and actually we were pleasantly surprised as a Finance Committee this month that our net income actually peaked up above. We had about a $29,000 net income surplus, which offset the about $26,000 net loss we had in January. But that's still our biggest concern right now, is the balance of our income against our expenses. And we are looking at different options to be able to do it. We feel pretty confident. They're selling, if you look at the numbers, about 11 new houses a month. So that brings in about another $210 per unit a month. And looking at our expenses, I think one of the things right now is we're taking a hard look. I've mentioned it the last 3 months, a hard look at all proposals coming in about how much we really need those things. And I think that's the start we've taken the year, and that's where we are spending less for unidentified things. But our costs are up. We are running 3 beautiful buildings and 3 pools and all the other assorted outside activities that we have. And it's an expensive operation. We've absorbed more land. Our landscape bills are up. So we're looking at that, and we will be proposing some options to the board to be able to look at the balance of the income coming in and all that and make everything work for everybody. I'd like to recommend that Claudia Rossi be approved by the board as a member of the Finance Committee. She has done her requirements, and we would like to have her as a member.
I'd like to make a recommendation that we accept Claudia Rossi to the Finance Committee as a member.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Claudia Rossi as a member of the Finance Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome. Our meetings are always the last Tuesday of the month. Our next meeting is the 24th. We always look for people that want to be a member of the committee, and it is required to sit on the board for, at our meetings for 3 times. But even if you don't, I think it's important. It's your money, it's my money. That's the way the committee approaches this. I think it's worth your while to come to this committee and see what we do, what we say, just as an observation, even if you don't want to be a member. So put it on your schedule and come on out and see us. Thank you.
Next is the landscape committee.
Lynette Simonson, Chairman, Landscape Committee. Thank you for the beautiful blooming flowers today. And yes, do go join Barry and his finance group. It's very enlightening and very comforting to know that our funds are being well watched after. But it's all part of our home here. I'm asking for approval of Bonnie McKella as a new committee member. She has completed her 3 walks and her 3 meetings. If I could have her approved for our committee, she'll be a permanent member starting our Tuesday meeting, next Tuesday the 17th at 1 p.m.
I'd like to make a motion this time to approve Bonnie McKayla as committee member to the landscape committee.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Bonnie McCalla as a new member of the Landscape Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very, very much. We still have room for more, and I have to thank the board or whoever put on the pizza party. We did get 2 new applicants at our committee membership event the other evening, and the pizza was delicious. And the fountain there by the RCN, where the old models are, is a beautiful landscape item, and we're hoping to repurpose it in a very low-cost, no-cost manner that it takes into account the beauty of that piece that's there. Well, it was 80 degrees last few days, and today 60. If you were a plant in 4 seasons, some thrive at that, and some when it gets down to 20 don't. So, needless to say, the extreme frost is certainly something that we look at on our walks very closely. And if there's any green poking out, we're just going to wait a couple of months to see if more green pokes out. So we don't have to replace them unless absolutely necessary. And trimming if appropriate. April and May are good times to trim back those dead branches. And, yes, I'm not going to ask for hands because I know everybody's got weeds. Well, we're being sprayed in all of our HOA areas, and in fact, one of the landscape contractors saw there was some growing not in our HOA area along the street, and he says, I'm going to spray those too because we need to get them out of the cracks in our pavement. And spraying for our fruitless trees so they continue to be fruitless. And the road, oh yeah, we're looking at a wonderful technology even in irrigation, and there's rotary sprinklers available that we're looking at for that stretch along Four Seasons Circle from the Lodge East that will be more effective and less runoff. Costly, but it may save us in a long time and term in. And these irrigation things have been in the ground for many years and are going to need to be revised or repaired, maybe. But we're looking at another avenue to save some water along that median strip in the parkway. And on Four Seasons Circle going down from Plymouth Rock to the courts, you see flags in the grass, don't touch them. Because that's where the new oak trees are going to be planted really soon. And Stellar Peak has a long series of walls. So
So we were out looking at some options that we might mitigate that blank wall that is very nice, but we're looking at some toy-on as maybe a cost-effective way of making that area along Stellar Peak a little more attractive and dramatic. And we had an arborist come out because one of our homeowners was concerned about the tree along the trail D, and the arborist declared that the sycamore tree was very healthy, not to worry. Also, there were pines there that we were concerned about, and those are also in good shape, getting good water, and some of them just got cold and said, ouch, I'm going to turn brown. And we're looking at, can you believe there's a trail that doesn't have trees on it? Well, yeah, we got a new trail, and we've asked our contractor to give us some suggestions for Trail D to enhance that wonderful trail, that walking trail. And one thing that's not on there, we're also looking at the Trail D as it comes into the courts as a kind of an area where the clay gets pretty yucky. And we're going to, at some of the cost, put some glue type of stuff with some decomposed granite to make that a safer walking area. So if it rains and that decomposed granite is there, don't walk on that part. I think that's all I can think of for now. Oh yeah, that's it. It's all on my notes. Thank you.
One of the other ordinances that our city passed this recently in January was that for houses that are 3/4 of an acre or less must have a front yard tree, and it has to be an ornamental tree. So if you need to replace a tree in your front yard, it will be an ornamental tree, and the landscape will take care of that. If you're submitting your plans, when they come to the architectural review committee, they will look for a front yard tree as well. So we do live by the ordinances of the city.
Thank you, Lynn. Next is the rules and regulations.
Good afternoon, Roman Dominguez, Rules and Regulations Committee. We had our meeting this last Tuesday, and during the meeting we discussed a few concerns here in the proceedings. The first one was safety in the pool and pool area for guests under 18 years and residents alike. I think we're still getting some complaints regarding younger people going into the pool when they're not supposed to and so forth. The committee has discussed issues that arise from year to year at the pool, especially in the summer months, to put a better solution in place this year. Second issue and concern was the underage guests in the community for the summer months. The committee has discussed activities available to guests at the various facilities, and will put out a police article listing those activities, focused on those that can be enjoyed by all ages. And then the last issue and concern that we discussed, which was sort of brought forth here by one of the residents. We had a resident that came to our meeting that brought forth that same issue, that street legal and underage drivers within the community. The committee has begun discussing the recent reports of underage drivers in golf carts and off-road vehicles. So we'll be talking about those in the coming meetings. I just would like to mention that I think a few years ago, there was the same issue that came up regarding underage operators of these golf carts, and it seemed to have died out. I think it was corrected. I don't know how it was corrected, but that did happen. But it seems to be happening again. So anyway, that's our report, and our next meeting will be Tuesday, May the 8th. It says 1 p.m., but it really should be 9 a.m. at the RCN conference room. And we are also looking for anybody interested in joining our committee. I think there's an opening for 2. So, and I've not been member, you can come and visit us and listen to some of the concerns, the rules and regulations that are right here that we are concerned about here at Fort Stevens. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Next is the safety.
Good afternoon. Safety Committee, basically, we are for, yay, we do a lot, but as everyone has alluded to, there's safety in all of the committees, safety concerns everywhere. And we have a person that we would like to recommend to nominate to our Safety Committee, which is Kay Harvey. She's completed her 3 attendings at the meetings, and I would like to see her comment.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Kay Harvey as a member of the Safety Committee.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded to approve Kay Harmon for the Safety Committee. All in favor?
Aye. Congratulations.
Very good, and she's brought already something that's so wonderful that we'll be talking about to help all of us, because we're all walkers around here. And if something happens, which has happened before, where a person fell down, no one knew how to contact him, who it was, and they just saw his dog. There was nothing on him, so we're going to bring it into our meeting and to the board about having finance, how we could have something on everyone, you carry something that would identify you. You could be anywhere around by yourself. And so if something happens, someone comes upon you, they will know who you are, who to contact. So we thank you for that. Thank you. We're actually, if you've noticed, that we've turned off the flashing signs as we're going 4 seasons. And that is because we're looking for, which we should have had at the beginning, our push button mechanism. So everybody's now is just so used to seeing the flashing signs, we took them, we disconnected them. So next month we should have, or the month after, we should have our push button mechanism so that you will be aware. We have so many people that are crossing the street, but how many people are actually stopping and looking for our residents? It's a big safety hazard. I've seen it with my own eyes where people are zooming up, people are trying to cross in the crosswalks. They don't care. So we're going to make it so that you care. Thank you. It's a passion of mine, as you can tell. Oh my God. All right, our 911 phones are up and about, and basically we meet the first Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. And the Safety Committee also is offering AED CPR training, and it will be on Monday, May the 21st. I would like for all of you to at least look around and see where the AEDs are. And we're going to have a hands-only CPR person to give the training, which is the nurse at Iowa Sanji Hospital, Kim Nelson. So we have a sign-up sheet, and we hope we'll be coming to the different committees and clubs to encourage you to come to the training. Once it's full, we'll offer another one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the social committee.
And I'll go fast. You do not want to miss paint night on June 2nd. The tickets are on sale on April 24th at 9 a.m. There's only, unfortunately, 78 tickets available because it's such, it takes up so many setup materials with your canvases and everything, so everybody can see and everybody can hear and have their paints available and everything, you know how it is. You're welcome to bring your own alcohol to this, and there will be a coffee bar that's associated with it. But come, you're going to love it, and don't dilly-dally or you won't get a ticket.
What does it say, how much?
$30. $30. There you go.
And the committee would also like to recommend Sandy Wellness to be their newest member.
I'll make a motion to approve Sandy Wellness
to the social committee.
I second.
Moved and seconded to appoint Sandra Wellman to the same committee, or social committee, all in favor? Motion carried.
And back to the game of the community events.
Thank you. And part of being a member, a resident of Four Seasons, because I love it here, and I try to do everything I can to encourage everybody just to be welcoming and positive to each other and see what we can do to keep this a great place. Now, we have so many people that have dogs here. There are so many people that have cats here, animals, pets. But also there are people that are concerned about the wildlife that's in our area. We did have a collaboration early on with the Tales and Trails and the dog group. We had the wildlife person here. Well, the person that's coming on May the 9th, we asked you all to attend, he is with the Beaumont Animal Control. And not only do they come around and look at the ducks and whatever, the snakes, but he is very knowledgeable about what's in our general local area with the wildlife. We were to have him here a couple of months ago, but he's really happy that he's coming in May because that's when all the little critters are coming out. We've already have the snakes that have started to come out with the weather. They probably will go back in now because it's cold again. But by the time May comes, they will be out. You'll see the little bobcat babies around, coyotes. So on, this will be presented by the Four Seasons Neighborhood Watch in collaboration again with Tales and Trails and the dog group. This will be May 9th. Chris Harwood, please come out. He's with Beaumont, the City of Beaumont Animal Control. The second thing is that past travel. The past transit group in Beaumont, they are trying to really encourage people to travel on the buses along with the RTA. They have some travel training and there will be some flyers out. They will teach you how to go. If you want to go from Walmart, get on the bus, then you can go down to San Bernardino, catch the Metrolink, go to Union Station and go other places. They will also show you how to go. If you want to go from Walmart, they will take you down to Riverside or to the San Bernardino. There's the train that goes on the weekend. It goes directly to the beach. If it's not on a Saturday or Sunday, then it will go past. You won't get off right at the beach, but you will get off near the beach. But it's called the travel train. We also have one that will take you to Disneyland. So these are the dates in which, in fact, we're doing one today. These are the dates and the flyers for past transit. We have so many people that play sports that know that are having some issues. So we will be asking the board to pass through the Kiwanis group and Dr. Mark Rice that will come in and talk about what are the updates on orthopedic surgery. But that's what I'm. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Next is the activity director.
Nobody clap for me.
Okay, guess what? We are still looking for residents with golf carts who'd be willing to represent Four Seasons in the Cherry Valley Parade on June 2nd at 10:30. No, guess what? You don't have to be a legal golf cart guy person. You don't have to be street legal because we found out you can have a chaser car in the front. Is that what it's called? Chaser car in the back and a flashing light car in the front, whatever that is. So we're going to do that. And because especially we have one of our really wonderful residents, John McLaughlin, who has been living here practically since we opened up, right? And he is being honored at this Cherry Festival for their 100th anniversary. So we want to make a show that Four Seasons Seasons exists and that we are awesome participants in the community at large. And one of the ways we can do that is by having a really cool showing of golf carts. And we have a great resident named Karen Reed, super creative, bubbly, fun, and she is going to help everybody have some sort of uniformity as the Four Seasons line of golf carts shows up. So that's going to be neat, and later on we'll be presenting the board with a proposal, not this month, but next month, for a banner that says Four Seasons so that everybody knows the cart line is for us. But anyway, if you're interested, can you get a hold of me and let me know, because that way Karen can get everybody together and it'll be fun. So go and feel free to go, even if you don't want to be a part of it. Check out the Terry Festival Parade this year. I think it's going to be really fun. It's June 2nd and it's at 10:30 in the morning. And I did have a little blurb about the bridge, but Len covered that really well, but I do want to reassure you there is still going to be the funniest, most awesome bridge opening that there ever was. And I am going to call the newspapers and TV and everything because you are never going to see anything this awesome. So be sure you're there, and a reception party afterward. So keep being patient because it'll be worth it. And here's another thing I want to let you know. If you like wines and cheeses from around the world and you enjoy international food dishes like desserts and global entertainment, then you're going to love being a part of the upcoming Festival of Cultures event on Saturday, April 21st at 5:30 to 8 p.m. in the ballroom. There's going to be neat country displays, a coffee bar with specialty recipes from all around the world, and entertainment. And you will get your money's worth at this event because it's free. Please sign up in the lodge lobby to let us know that you'll be attending. And while you're at it, sign up to bring your favorite international dessert. I don't know why, but tell your friends about it. It seems like nobody is knowing about this. It's in the breeze, there's a poster out there, it's going out in the Daily Report, but it is really going to be a fun one, and there's free wine tastings. So come, and you can even bring your own bottle if you want to, because there'll be tables set rounds so that you can have some snacks from all the buffet and have your bottle of wine and listen to the entertainment. So there you go. That is coming up again on the 21st of April. So that's like next week, next Saturday. So mark it down. Oh, really quick, line dance party on Friday, that's tomorrow, right here, 5 o'clock. Talk to Martha Frank about it if you want to go. And a friendly reminder for those of you that have been invited to the new homeowner dessert and orientation, it is tonight. And it's going to be at 6 o'clock, so I'll see you guys there. And finally, karaoke this month is going to be taking place on Saturday, April 14th. That's this Saturday in the ballroom here. Yay, it's nice to have a lot of there.
Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah.
Next is the management report, Saturday 65 through 84. Note we had 58 work orders that were open, and we had closed 45 in the last month. Any questions on the reports? Communications from homeowners, some communications after that. The unfinished was covered earlier, so we'll go on to the bridges that are going to be April 26th. The review and act on the bridge date. We had Cricket Creek Bridge, Bobcat Bridge, Seasons Creek, Neighbors Crossing, East and West Bridge, the connection, Long Life Bridge, Lifelong Bridge, Happy Life Bridge, Canterbury Bridge, Woodmill Bridge, Windy Mill Bridge, Sunrise Bridge, Creek Bridge, Rosada Bridge, Circle Bridge, Circle of Life Bridge, Rock Creek Bridge, and Circle Creek Bridge. All super fun.
It's interesting.
I said it's not open.
I think we should have the name Britain in there.
I think it might be in there.
Are we supposed to make a decision on this? Or are we just still looking at it?
If the board wants to make a decision on it, we can also do a survey on it, and homeowners decide. Or since the bridge is not going to be open until the May, we do have some more time to think about that. More shots.
Yeah, at least narrow it down to the top 2 or 3.
Yeah. Good.
Next. On pages 127 and 128, the Community Planning and Transition Committee had an ad hoc committee looking at the parking lot and the various needs and uses thereof. Their recommendation is to send the documentation that they had worked on to the Facilities Committee, for the Facilities Committee to work on the parking lot. So, the direction of the board to do that.
I'd like to make a recommendation, a motion that we go ahead and set it on the facilities committee and let them absorb the results of the ad hoc committee's effort.
I'll second that.
Seconded to move the parking lot study to the facilities committee for their appropriate action. All in favor?
Next, on page 129, is a survey request from the editorial board to conduct a survey.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the editorial board's recommendation to have a survey conducted in order to determine the needs, wants, and desires of the Four Seasons community.
I second.
Moved and seconded to approve the request for a survey to determine the needs, wants, and desires of the community. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Next, on pages 130 through 136, is a request from the Facilities Committee to install fencing here at the newly renovated pickleball courts. It is a safety concern because we've been involved.
I'd like
The total
to,
cost is $5,000.
I'd like to make a recommendation due to the fact that it is a safety issue, that to approve the proposal from the finance committee for the pickleball court, $5,000.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to approve center line fencing for pickleball courts, $5,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries.
Next, on pages 137 through 140, is a request from the Landscape Committee to install oak trees along Four Seasons Circle at a cost of $4,970.
I'd like to make a recommendation, motion that we approve the request for the adding oak trees to Four Seasons Circle Parkway.
I second.
Moved and seconded to approve the planting of oak trees along Four Seasons Circle Parkway. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries.
Next, on pages 141 through 143, is a request from the Landscape Committee to approve planting pyracantha on the Green Creek Trail slope.
I'd like to make a motion we approve the request to install pyracantha on the Green Creek Trail slope at a cost of $1,730.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to approve the planting of pyracantha on the Green Creek Trail slope. All in favor?
Aye.
Next, on page 144, is the request from the Amphitheater Production Group to approve the budget for the May, June, July, August, and September programs at the amphitheater for a total cost of $6,650.
I'll make the motion to approve the $6,650 for the proposed lineup for the amphitheater.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded to approve the budget for the amphitheater presentations for this year. All in favor?
Aye.
Next, on page 145, is a request from the Activities Director to keep the summit open until 11 o'clock on Friday, June 15th, Friday, July 13th, and Friday, August 24th, to have movies out on the grass expanse.
I'll make the motion that we approve
second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve use of a block outdoor movie screen to be used at some for existing speakers and a lower projector so that we could have several outdoor movie events. Do we know that the nearby residents are aware of this?
No, we don't know that. In fact, we were thinking we would just let them know. Or just it was going to happen. I don't know. Or maybe we'll get such an outrage on June 15th that we'll know right away. Or we could send them a letter.
We will let them know.
Yes.
Since you get feedback from the Easter services
Do you want us to send a letter out?
well, some sort of survey where we find out, some of them may be asleep and it won't bother them. Others may want to know how loud the speaker is going to be, and this doesn't look like it's going to go by without some comments. So maybe we need to get some input.
Okay, we'll talk.
So,
And you can tell me what, as far as how you would like us to get to know.
well, I think you notify the people and ask them to let us know if they have a problem with what you're proposing.
Okay.
We'll do so. So next on the agenda, on pages 146 through 147, is the 2018 annual blessing of pets.
I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve the blessing of animals.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to approve the annual blessing of the pets for this year. All in favor?
Aye.
Next on pages 148 to 149 is a request from the Kiwanis group to host a Dr. Rice, here on May 7th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the use of the ballroom. It's listed here, Dr. Rice, and that it'll be for Four Seasons residents, no outsiders.
I'll second it.
Second to approve Swan Club request Dr. Mark Black to speak here. All in favor?
Aye.
And that concludes new business.
I'd like to say something. 4 times a year, we have a gentleman that lives in this community that gives his time, as a lot of us give our time and effort. And Mr. Frere, every time you walk in the front door, 4 times a year, there's a different decoration above the fireplace and adjacent to the fireplace. And I don't know how many times he's been said thank you to. And I just want to make sure that when you see him working on it, say thank you. He does that with his own heart and soul, like a lot of us do. And I just like to thank Mr. Frere for doing the hard work he does and makes it so beautiful as you enter the ballroom. I'm sorry, not the ballroom. As you enter the main lodge, he does that on his own time. Thank you.
I would like to also note that, it takes a lot of personal time and effort to be a board member. And this is Fred's last board that he will be sitting at this side of the table. And I think all of us on the board and the staff really appreciate all the work that Fred has done. He is one of those who goes far beyond what is really necessary to get the job done, to make sure it gets done right. And it's really taken a workload off the rest of us, and he's got good sound judgment. And unfortunately, he came from the Air Force rather than the Army. He overcame that shortfall. And so, Fred, thank you for serving with us.
I would like to say that it's been an honor to serve with you
and an honor to serve for you out there. It takes a lot of time to be a board member. These folks here at the table know it. Those that have sat at the table have known it. It takes an awful lot of time. I'd like to thank Lynn for his good leadership. You know, I was telling today at the end of the executive session, the one thing I admire about Lynn, other than the fact that he came from the Army, was that he's not afraid to make a tough decision, and he makes good decisions. And it's a thankless job to be on the board. You'll notice once you're on the board, you don't frequent the lodge very much because, and you usually screen your phone calls at night, especially after 11 o'clock. But I can honestly say I enjoyed the experience working with you. And First Service residential folks are outstanding. I can't say enough good about them as well. That's what's made it such a pleasurable experience for me, and I thank you and I salute you.